History was written in lines of steel, not in Europe, not in Asia, but deep within the land of Africa. A train that doesn't rely on diesel or ordinary electricity, but instead runs on a special kind of battery created by a Zimbabwean inventor named Maxwell Chikumbutso, has stunned the world of technology and transport. A sleek, futuristic train moves quietly over bright open plains. Crowds gather near the tracks, holding up their phones to capture the moment. This isn't just another train passing by. It is a revolution on rails, a soft-spoken, self-powered machine that not only travels through Africa, but also drives the continent itself forward. For many years, Africa depended on imported and outdated transport systems. Maxwell Chikumbutso, the same inventor behind self-powered airplanes and clean, emission-free cars, dreamed bigger than anyone around him. He wanted to electrify railways in a completely new way. This train does not depend on overhead cables or fuel. It runs on Maxwell's advanced, high-efficiency battery that can move an entire train for more than 1,000 kilometers on just one charge. The test journey that changed history began when the prototype started from Harare toward Lusaka. Many skeptics said it would stop before reaching halfway, but it did not. The train moved smoothly, steadily, and almost silently. Cheers filled the air at every station. Engineers inside watched every detail carefully. The system did not overheat, it did not slow down, and it released zero pollution. The meaning of this moment went far beyond transportation. Shipping costs could fall. Trade between countries could improve. Africa could finally stop depending on costly, imported fuel or borrowed power systems. The continent could take control of its own journey to growth. Infrastructure experts began calling it Africa's Tesla moment. The world noticed instantly. Within hours, news headlines spread across continents. Africa builds the future, one paper declared. A game changer in green mobility, another reported. From Silicon Valley to Shenzhen, top tech minds started paying close attention. Investors began to wonder, could Africa, long overlooked, actually lead the world in electric transport? At the core of this invention is Maxwell's battery. It is not just a battery for storage. It's a layered power system made of graphene-based supercapacitors combined with his special electromagnetic converter. The design does more than store electricity. It also recycles and even creates energy as the train moves. The train doesn't just use power, it makes more of it while running. The impact of this could be enormous. No more massive fuel costs. No dependence on unstable power grids. Remote towns that were once isolated could now be connected affordably and quickly. New trade routes could open. Villages could gain access to travel that was once only a dream. But with success came resistance. Behind closed doors, in tall buildings, and oil-rich offices, whispers began to spread. Companies that had billions invested in diesel and fossil fuels suddenly saw a threat they never expected. A quiet Zimbabwean engineer turning railway lines into symbols of freedom. The fights started over patents. Lawsuits appeared in several countries, questioning Maxwell's ownership and claiming the science was flawed. Courtrooms filled with lawyers and documents, but Maxwell's team was ready. They had every blueprint, every test result, and independent verification. Each challenge was defeated with solid proof. To show his technology could grow beyond Zimbabwe, Maxwell made a bold choice. He offered his train designs at cost to several African countries. Rwanda, Ghana, and Kenya were among the first to respond. Deals were signed, tracks were built, and young engineers were trained. Within a single year, new test lines were running successfully across different weather and terrain. And for the first time, Africa wasn't importing trains. Africa was exporting knowledge. The disruption spread like wildfire. Videos of the whispering, self-powered trains racing through African landscapes went viral online. News outlets from Japan to Canada asked the same question: did Africa just take the lead in transportation technology? TV panels on BBC and CNBC debated the meaning of it. It was no longer just about trains. It was about who would control the future of mobility. Germany sent researchers to study the system. China requested private meetings. Even small American startups secretly tried to copy Maxwell's self-charging battery. But perhaps the biggest effect wasn't economic. It was cultural. Across Africa, young inventors who once felt invisible started to feel seen. From student science fairs in Zambia to engineering competitions in Ethiopia, a new generation asked, if Maxwell can do it, why not us? The question became a spark of pride and possibility. Economists began to look deeper. What happens when Africa, the fastest growing continent, no longer depends on oil, gas, or even lithium for its energy needs? Maxwell's system doesn't require rare earth minerals. It produces no waste. It's not only clean, it's nearly limitless. The real question became not who can innovate, but who can keep up. The invention soon moved beyond trains. In Namibia, a sleek aircraft lifted straight into the sky. No sound, no smoke. Using the same self-generating power system, Maxwell's engineers opened a new chapter in aviation. Agricultural drones in Zimbabwe used the same energy to spray crops. Villages that could never afford aircraft before started building and flying small planes for farming, delivery, and rescue operations. Africa had shifted from being a buyer to becoming a creator, and then an exporter. Military forces also took notice. Drones powered by Maxwell's technology were tested across West Africa and beyond. These drones could fly long distances without needing any fuel. During an African Union defense meeting, one strategist said, energy freedom isn't only about money, it's about safety. The age of wars for oil might soon end, replaced by peace born from innovation. Meanwhile, in Silicon Valley, global tech giants grew nervous. Early reports revealed that Maxwell's energy cells lasted longer and cost less than Tesla's most advanced batteries. Billions of dollars poured into American labs to catch up, but no team could fully copy Maxwell's resonance system. The mysterious part that not only stores power, but also generates it. The race became intense. In Geneva, world powers, large corporations, and energy giants gathered for secret talks. Everyone wanted a share of this new energy revolution. Some offered open checks, others demanded full control. One proposal went as high as $20 billion for his patent. But Maxwell's dream was never about wealth. It was about empowerment, giving Africa control of its own energy and future. So he called together African leaders, innovators, and thinkers to create what he named the Pan-African Innovation Pact. Standing before them, he declared, "We will not sell our future. We will build it right here." His technology was shared freely across the continent, but with one condition: it could only be used for peaceful, educational, and civilian purposes. And so, history turned again, not written in books this time, but in silent motion across the land. The train that once seemed impossible now stood as proof that Africa could not only follow the world, but lead it. In every hum of the track, in every spark of innovation, Maxwell's vision carried forward. Africa had found its rhythm, a quiet, unstoppable power moving into tomorrow.